So what is the thing that people love to watch about Kundalini online? They love watching the demos. They love watching that people moving around or having a wonderful time, their bodies are moving, or energy orgasms, or that are aspects of chi opening up, the tantric energies opening up. It looks amazing. It feels amazing. That is Kundalini activation. It's fun. It's the very beginning of a process. But what is way more amazing than this? And it's something you cannot see in a demo. It is something no video can show you. It can represent it, but it cannot show you. When it comes to the raising of the Kundalini and the full awakening of your Kundalini, you've heard of ayahuasca, right? You've heard of shamanic journeys, right? You've heard of visions. This is even more amazing to experience the higher and lower realms, as it were. Way more interesting than the body moving around and traumas being released. Those have to happen first. And what's even more amazing is when you get to a level working with people, you can have shared journeys. Call it telepathy if you like. Call it an extremely high or strong empathic connection if you like. But when you can have a shared vision with people, this is when things start to get interesting. Really, truly, deeply interesting. And this is why I say what I do is more than Kundalini activation. It is even more than just Kundalini awakening and non-dualistic thinking and feeling the unity of oneness of everything. Great things, amazing things, awesome things, life-changing things. But when you go beyond that, just the first step beyond that, you start to have visions with other people, shared journeys. That is when things really start to open up. Can I have this? Can I do this? Yes, of course you can. Come to a training with me, learn the processes, and then we can get you to a level where this can start happening. Now, if you're controlled by fear, if you don't learn to step out of the monkey mind, then it's going to be harder. You have to work through your ego and let certain things go. You have to get to a state of knowing rather than ego. Now, of course, the blind will interpret that as you being egotistical, but ego comes from a place of belief. When you know things, you know things. You don't know why you know them, you just know them and they're right. That is not ego. Ego is believing something and defending your belief to try and be right. You have to, part of the journey is to release your traumas, is to release your energetic blocks, and to release your ego. Because if you do not do this in the process, you're going to have a tough time, and you're going to realize what your ego is, because it is going to create things for you like the dark night of the soul. You have to let go of the program mind. You have to let go of beliefs and the programming, all that external nonsense created by humanity. And when you go through the process and you get there, it can be a fun, enjoyable process through energetic work. Yes, just like those demo videos you see of Kundalini activation or emotional release therapy or whatever it is. These things aren't new. You know, it used to be talked about in religion. They used to call it exorcism, of dispelling the demons. Wow. What are the demons? If you've heard of shadow work is by Carl Jung. He changed the name to shadow from demon, which comes from chod, from Buddhism. Because your demons, your shadows, are the trapped beliefs within you of your unconscious mind that keep you trapped within a bubble, trying to keep you safe. But they are the negative aspects of you. And so when you release those, your body can move too, because those blocks are kept within your body. And when you release them, you can start shaking and moving around. Of course, when exorcisms were performed honestly and truly, they were done so by priests who practiced something called magic. People think witchcraft is evil and witchcraft is negative, and thanks to Hollywood, but you have to understand, when things like witchcraft, the Witchcraft Act came out, it's a public document. Go search for it. It was to stop priests from practicing magic, because priests were helping people, they were curing people, they were releasing emotional traumas and blocks, and they were healing people, and they were coining, they were getting money for it, which they kept. And the church didn't like it, that they were losing their power, that they weren't getting the money. And so they banned the priests from doing this stuff. They stopped teaching this stuff, because if you look under Western terminologies, we call it magic, but it's also called energy healing. It's called Shakitpat. It's called Reiki. It's called whatever you want to call it. There are lots of different lineages and lines and levels, but it's all the same stuff. When you see that the priests got banned from doing this stuff, and they turned around and said, well, we are one of the powers here. We are the ones that control the people. We're no longer allowed to do it, so no one else is allowed to do it either. And this is when the ban came down on other people. What is my proof about this? If you look into magic, go and look for grimoires. They are magical books. See who they were written by. Because most of the famous grimoires were written by popes, priests, and monks. That says a lot, doesn't it? Go read that act and see who it was talking to and who they were banning from helping people. Same goes on today. Things are controlled for money. It's all about control and money. That's what happened there. Same thing, same story. We're still stuck in the same processes. Fortunately, those ridiculous nonsenses have now been released. And thanks to globalization, thanks to the internet, we now have access to books of Western esotericism. We have access to Eastern healings. We have access to even more Western healings. We have access to Southern healings, to South America, Africa, China, Japan, Korea, India, North America, South America, and the ancient traditional Western European stuff, as well as the Egyptian stuff and the Persian and Arabic stuff. Every culture, this is within every culture. It's all the same thing. It's all about stepping out of the monkey mind, stepping out of the programming, becoming whole, understanding society and ourselves and a unity of oneness on a deeper level. To then be able to go even deeper and start reconnecting in these ways, in ways that have been lost or kept occult, kept in private closed groups for fear of repression and reprisal from people who have been programmed, people who are fearful, people who have to keep up with the Joneses and can't be seen to be doing things that are left-hand path. Only sociably acceptable things are the right thing to do, and only the things that my program tells me are true, and nothing else can be because my ego won't permit me because it's trying to protect me, and I'm not clever enough or open enough to be able to see that my program is wrong. If you are someone who wants to go deeper, if you are someone who wants to have these experiences, to open up, to feel oneness, to feel unity, to feel non-duality, to understand that polarity doesn't exist, to understand that healing, body moving demos are just the very, very beginning of a very long journey. It starts, we could say it starts with that. We could say it starts with a Kundalini awakening. Many people think Kundalini awakening is the goal, is the objective, is the connection, is the answers. Kundalini awakening is the beginning of something that has been lost for a very long time. If you want to experience this, theawakeningenergy.com. Come take one of my trainings, come take one of my courses. I offer to teach this in different ways to adapt to different people, whether it's self-study, whether it's very intensive individual study, whether it's a middle path in very small groups online. That's good too. I offer that too. To be able to learn this over a couple of months. If you're interested, go check it out. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification button. And if you're open to being open, perhaps leave a comment, perhaps just say thanks or hit the like button. And if you're someone that's not ready for this, that's still trapped in their ego, that still likes to steal other people's energy by trying to find fault in the things they say and put them down, that's okay. We see you, we hear you. When you're ready to let that stuff go, come join us too.